morning, and welcome to another cloudy day here in Winnipeg. You know, it seems that lately I've been saying a lot. I did not come back to the model table here yesterday, and yesterday was just another one of those days. I just got way too sidetracked in the afternoon, and I had thought I might come back and, paint these little parts, which I have to remember to dust off, because I remember when I was previewing my video, I was looking up close, they're all covered with sawdust. Anyway, sanding dust, or it doesn't matter. Anyway, I think what we will do is maybe put this on the rotator and just put the macro lens on and just see how well did the paint, shrink wrap around the detail. Because I put the 19 on pretty heavy and it wasn't thinned. So we'll just take a look and see how much detail we lost. I don't think too much. It looks, from this distance, it looks pretty good. But we'll get in nice and close. Mind you, nobody's going to look at it any closer than this anyway. It's going to be inside the case, right? But that's not the point. You may as well try and make it as nice as we can. The only thing I did yesterday afternoon was I cleaned up my little paintbrush here. I think I mentioned yesterday I'm not going to give this a second coat. It doesn't need it. I don't see any bare plastic, except right here where it goes up against the barbette. But what I am going to do though is I'm going to do the 77 on the top, so that it matches a whole bunch of other stuff here, like all of these decks, and so on. That are gray are the 77. So I want to try and keep it matching here. How it looked on the real ship, I don't know. All right, no sunrise this morning. No sunrise this morning. The bridge looked pretty bleak. Okay, let's recompose here. Let's get our rotator out and. Get this thing mounted on it. I suppose it's... Oh no, I don't want to break this off. Yeah, I don't want to break this off yet, because if I do, then I can't paint the top. Maybe what we'll do is, after I get the 77 on the top, then we'll use the rotator. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on with it here. Okay, I have brought the turntable back, because I was realizing that actually it might be a lot easier to paint this if it's sitting like this, and then I can just sort of rotate it, because my plan is, well, first of all, let's break this off, because I'm pretty sure we're not going to need it anymore. I'll just move in just a little here. Okay. Now, remember we were wondering if this was going to snap off? Well, we're going to find out right now. There we go. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to need to put any... oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. This stuff. Blue tack, blue tack, run. Oh my goodness. And they let you live alone? Okay. Yeah, I better just put a little bit of blue tack on the bottom of each one of these, just to hold it in place here. Because what I want to do is, when I come at this with the 77, is in order to keep it from running down the wall, or the bulkhead rather, I guess you call it. I want to go from the inside out, okay? Not like this, because it'll catch, and then you're going to be sort of like cleaning your brush on the on the edge. So that, at least that's the plan. It should work, and as long as I don't get too over aggressive with the amount of paint I've got in the brush, it should work. Okay, that's the plan. Let's put the macro lens on. Okay, I'm not moved in quite as close as I could get with the macro lens, but we're probably on the ratio of 2 to 1 instead of 1 to 1. Now, I don't think it matters if this sort of oozes down and gets onto the paint, because we're not going to worry about having an oil film from the blue tack. And the blue tack, remember, we concluded way back when we were doing the Bismarck that the blue tack does leave residue. Okay, now when I drag the brush over, okay. Now earlier we were talking about the fact that what were we talking about? Oh, that there's no rollbacks anymore, and oh my goodness, yeah, there's no rollbacks anymore, and I think that once winter comes, we'll sort of be back to normal, all being well, if I can remember. Yeah, I was thinking about something else. I'm sure that you have that problem too. Anyway, yeah, we've got to talk about the stash. There's no stash. Absolutely nothing, and I don't know what it's going to be anymore. For a while there, I was 99% sure it was going to be the Yamato, but I'm realizing now that well, it might be something else. As Jason said, UK Jason was mentioning that it could be because I've done, at least I think it was Jason, I'm on my 4th battleship here now, that maybe I'm getting sick of battleships and I want something different. So I think there's probably some truth to that. Okay, let's get our 77 here, and I'm probably going to have to shake it up again, but on the other hand, I don't think so. I think I just rattle it around in my hand a little bit. That'll probably be good enough. It was just shaking yesterday. Anyway, let's maybe we can move in just a little bit closer when we do the top. Okay, once again, we're not moved in quite as close as we could get with the macro, but why is that not painting right? Maybe I didn't have enough on my brush. I was trying to keep it. Yeah, this should work. Now I don't want to fill in the holes. We'll give it 2 coats here. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with this? It's just, maybe I'm trying to put it on too thin. That's what it is. My goodness, that looks terrible. That's absolutely terrible. What's happened to my paint here? You know what? I should go to the hobby store and get a whole new batch of paint. This 77 I was going to say it could go back to the Bismarck, but I don't think so. Probably goes back to the Rodney. Well, my goodness, that didn't turn out to, I'm trying to do it thin. That's the problem. If I was trying and put it on thicker, maybe I'm going to have to almost resand that because, okay, don't make it worse. Okay, I'm going to use my heat gun and just dry that off and see what happens when we put the second coat on. But that's disappointing. Okay, I had the heat gun on it for probably 2-3 minutes at 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And just let me turn this off here. Okay, now I've cleaned my brush out. I'm wondering if maybe because I was trying so hard not to get paint down into the holes that I just didn't have enough on my brush. So let's just try it again. I'm going to put more on the brush. And in the event we fill the holes, well, we'll worry about that later. Okay, I'm sampling a little bit of paint here. I'm not taking quite as much off as I did before. And here we go. Oh, I'm going to have to put a third coat right here. I'm wondering if maybe there's a little bit of oil on this or something. It's too thick right there. And I think that'll probably dry pretty good. It doesn't seem to be running down the sides, so that was what I was kind of worried about. Now, I know that after we get the parts on here, okay, that one part that I said wasn't quite made right, you can see right here where I'm touching right now. There's just sort of a little mark showing where it's supposed to go. Okay, let's give it a third coat and try and see if we can repair this area right here. But I'm afraid that if I try to do something about it now, I'm only going to make it worse. So, okay, it is my unprofessional opinion that the paint is dry, but it is not cured. Now let's just try not to make it worse. Maybe I should get a little bit more on my brush here. Okay, does it look like there's any spots there that are look kind of faint? I know some places it's thicker than others, but I'm pretty sure that when this dries, it's gonna look uniform. We'll let it dry and take a look at it. Okay, let's do our smallest piece first. Now, looking in the monitor, what's that little hole, I wonder, on the side? Is that some sort of piece of detail that was supposed to be there? Anyway. All right. And we will use this brush to try and get rid of the dust. Very carefully, of course. I don't know if there's very much dust on this one, but... Okay, now we'll use a smaller brush. Different glasses. Moment, please. I don't need to do the bottom of it. This may not need 2 coats. Maybe on the top we'll give it a second one. Pretty sure we got it. Okay, let's quit. Quit while you're ahead. Quit while you're ahead. And I imagine that little hole is still going to be visible, whatever it is. Oh, maybe not. Now we just want to do the top. Okay, I think when that dries, it'll look fairly uniform. Okay, now we got 3 other pieces to do yet. Now, yesterday afternoon, I was able to get out on 2 wheels. Yeah, the scooter this time. And I'm guessing I was out for, going on 2 hours altogether. I went out twice. I went out for, I'm guessing a little over an hour and a half, and when I came back, I gassed it up. Excuse me. And after I gassed it up, I thought, well, I may as well take it for a bit of a spin because I didn't want to bring the smell of gas into the house. So I was out for about another 15 minutes, I guess. And that must have worked. It got aired out because the scooter's in the house right now, and I'm not smelling any gas at all. So, in fact, I come to think of it, I never have. So I've been keeping it inside the house now for going on 2 weeks. So I was kind of worried about that, actually. Um, anyway, yeah, well, I had a good time. And I guess that's the main thing. I had a good, safe time. No problems at all. There, that should work. We don't need to paint the bottom. Got it on thick enough here? Okay, I think so. Now, it's the center here that I don't want to lose the detail because that represents the bottom of the raft. We're probably going to have to give this another coat here. Let's just brush it on, kind of almost dry brushing it, you might say. Okay, let's dry that now. I accidentally stuck my brush too far into the paint jar. Now this paint has been thinned. I think probably 2 coats is going to be enough here. I was just thinking this is the sort of thing that Gabe is good at, and then I was reminded we got an email last night from Gabe, and he's going to be by here, all being well, about 10:30 tomorrow morning. So I'm sure he's going to have something very interesting to show us. Okay, let's just let that dry. I don't think I'm going to give it a 3rd coat. And I don't know if I'm going to mess around with the panline accent color like I did on those other ones, because they don't really look that good. Okay, enough. Okay, I'm going to use the top of the spindle here as a reference point. And hopefully I'm not going to accidentally squeeze the tweezer. And I should really have something for a steady rest. That would be a good idea. I'm going to put something right here. Right down there as a steady rest. Maybe a little block. Just hang on a second. Okay. Okay, now just let me put this in place. Now I'm going to check the monitor. Is it? Yeah, that should work. Okay, here we go. We'll give it 2 coats. Now we don't need to worry about the bottom here, because that's gonna, we're not gonna see that. So let's just try and get it here so everybody can see it. Trying to smooth it out here and making it worse, aren't I? Okay, let's let that dry now. Let's not try to improve on it, because it'll probably start to... All right, where's the other one? This is the one that I was filing and sanding yesterday to try and hide the... oh, that's way too much. Yeah, I was trying to hide the seam. You know what? I don't think I did this area on that other one. Okay, I just gotta recompose here a little bit. Just a little bit so everybody can see it. I'm flooding it on again, aren't I? But I think once it dries, it'll be all right. Okay, let's just... oh, I didn't do the back. I believe these are supposed to represent some kind of air vents. I can't think of what else it could possibly be. Okay, let's just let that dry now. I think once it dries, the second coat is probably going to... yeah, the second coat should do it. All right, see you in a few minutes. Okay, I think we have done real well here this morning, even though what we're working with is really small. It's not like after you paint the hull, you've got something really big to show for your day's work, but I think we've done pretty good here, and we're ready to put all the parts together on this, I guess we'll call it a module. And I think the first thing I'm going to do, so let me move in a little bit here. Okay, we'll put the hose reel on the side. Although, should we maybe do the ladder first? Maybe the ladder should go on first. Yeah, it's got to go. We'll be using the... okay, which side now has the least photo etch showing? I think this side. So we'll have this side out. There's a little tiny bit of photo etch glinting there. Okay, it doesn't want to position. Maybe I should use something different. Maybe I'll use this paintbrush here. Come on, it doesn't want to move over. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, now which side did we conclude was the best? I think this side. Okay, let's try this again. If I hold it down like that, yeah, I can sort of wedge it in place. Yeah, okay, it's got to go about right there. At least according to the manual, that's where it goes. Now I don't want it so low that when I put it on the deck, it's going to catch on the bottom there. So that's just about right. Okay, let's grab our flat clear. You know what? Let's stick on the macro lens. Now, once again, I know this looks like a lot, but after this dries and shrink wraps, it should act as glue. And I don't want this one to come off like that other one did. And I have to ask somebody later, does anybody know where this goes? Okay, let's get our heat gun going here. Maybe put the lid on first. And then maybe if we can do the time-lapse thing if this works out. Okay, I'm going to set the heat gun for 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, shoot. Okay, I would say that is 95 or better % dry, and yeah, that should act as a glue. It's, you know, I realize that a person could probably pick this off, but just don't pick it off. Okay, now as long as we're in this position, we've got. This thing has to go on. I'm just going to double check to make sure I'm still in focus here. Now, if I remember to insert the snapshots, which you should be looking at right now, you'll see that I'm using something to hold this down so that I don't accidentally knock it over again. Well, I think the heat gun accidentally blew it over. Okay, we'll just carefully set this off to the side. And we're going to moisten the side of this with some extra thin here. Just a little bit. Okay, now let's, before that dries, okay, hopefully that's going to meld in place there. It's not going to stick real well, but it should stick okay as long as I don't, you know, pick it off, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that should work. I don't know if I want to try and shove it down or not. I think it's about as down as it's going to get. Okay, I think our paint is basically dry here. At least the surface is, but it's almost looking like it could be a dry scum, you might say, on the surface. Well, let's just put this down. Release it here. All right, now turn it over carefully around. Okay, now it has to go. I suppose I could pick it up with my fingers. It's supposed to go like this. I think it's going to fit. Maybe if I was to put some extra thin in that hole there. Where's my extra thin? think that's probably all we're going to need. Hey, where's Tony's tweezers? That'll work good. Okay. Now, okay, let me check the monitor. Does that look like that's down? Not quite. Maybe if I go like this. Okay, I think it's down now. Look at it from straight above. Is it square? Okay, good. Now we'll do the same on the other corner. I'll just use my fingers this time instead of messing around with tweezers. I gotta hold it down. It almost has the feeling like it's not going all the way down into the hole here. I'm gonna end up getting it out of the field of view here by trying to straighten it around. Okay, that's almost square. Oh, I'm getting fingerprints on the top here. That doesn't look right. There. That looks better, sort of. See, it's got to be square. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Okay. Now we've got to put that other piece. Where does that go here? You can possibly see right, see if I can touch it with the tweezer. You see right there, there's a little square. That's where this other piece right here is supposed to go. Something like, not like that. Has to go the other way up. Okay, now you're going to see what I was talking about earlier when I was saying that it looked like the bevel was wrong on the back. Because this is actually the way it's supposed to go according to the manual. Maybe I should check the manual again. Okay, I just realized my mistake. This end here that I'm just touching right now is not supposed to be laying on the roof. It's supposed to be up like this. Now that is going to be kind of hard to get it to glue down there without falling over. I'm wondering if I was to maybe put something underneath it, like, you know, like some card or something like that, just that would hold it up, hold this end up in the air. Okay, it's supposed to go something like, it's not wanting to go. I'm hoping that the extra thin is going to really meld my plastic here. Let's see if I can find something about about a millimeter thick would probably be enough just to hold this end here up in the air. Okay, here's the plan. I'm going to take the end part of one of Gabe's swabs and we're going to use it as a I think that'll work if I can get it sticky right here. I'm wondering if maybe what I should do is maybe put a little bit of extra thin on the bottom here. Okay, we'll soften that. We'll soften this. Now, is this gonna stick? It's not quite in the right position. Is this strong enough now that I can put some pressure on it? I'm trying to square this edge with the side. I'm looking straight down on it now. It should go in just a little bit. Oh, I'm getting fingerprints on the top of that now. Okay, I think that's not too bad. Let me look at the monitor. Okay, I think that's basically the way it's supposed to go. Okay, let's just let that dry, and then the life raft we'll put in place, and then this is done. There's the hole. Yep, sort of snapped into place. Might have to touch that up. You can sort of see right here on this end, or on the roof, or deck, or whatever you want to call it. I hope I don't have to put railings around this thing. Now, I am really happy with the way things went here today. We got our module made. I'm not happy with the fact that it was raining outside a while ago. Uh-oh. Paintbrush needs to be cleaned. Here we go again. Don't let me forget to insert those snapshots I took of this wrench. Okay, I'm going to call it quits for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.